What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy CeeLou, and we're back again, man. Another episode of Drop Balls Podcast. Well, I say another episode, but really, we rebranding. Well, not really rebranding, but we restarting everything up. Uh, yeah, we restarting everything up, getting back to it. Um, Most of you who have already followed me, from when I started the podcast back in 2020, y'all know what it is. But this is for the new people, man. We're gonna do a little introduction. This episode is Drop Balls Podcast, the introduction, man. So to introduce the new folks to CeeLou, introduce the new folks to Drop Balls Podcast, and also like kind of tell y'all what we're gonna be doing from here because we changing some things around. I'm changing some things around with the podcast. It's still sports. We sticking with sports because that's my bread and butter. That's what I know. That's what I do. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. Um, but we getting back to it. We doing something a little bit different. The podcast is gonna be all video. It's I'm gonna upload things on Spotify, but it's gonna be I believe you can upload video files on Spotify now as well. So it's gonna be videos on Spotify. We're gonna be live on YouTube, live on Twitch. And I'm gonna be gaming while I'm talking sports, the daily sports stuff. Um, but this time it's probably gonna be daily. It's gonna be a daily thing. Some things in my life have changed, relationship wise, job wise. Things have changed. No longer in a relationship. Um, and then also previously lost my job in earlier this month. Most of y'all who know me, y'all know I work for the federal government, so uh, you know we know how that goes. I was one of the employees that got riffed, reduction enforced. Um, and so yeah, that happened to me. So, while some people will look at it as like, oh, I gotta get back in the job market, I gotta get back in the job market. For me, it was a time that God was telling me to slow down and reflect. Over the course of 6 months, a lot of things have happened. Like I said, lost my relationship, I think around like September. Then 6 months later, here we are, and I lost my job. I felt like God was telling me to slow down, refocus, get back to the basics, focus on Him, and different things like that. So, I decided over this time because I have like 5 months, 3 to 5 months where I'm still getting paid, still getting my salary and everything. So instead of rushing back into the job market, especially at this point, I don't know what the hell I want to do. I know I'm passionate about sports. I know I love sports. This is my thing. Um, so I was like, over the next few months, we're gonna really sell out and see what we can bring to the table, in the sports world and the media world and everything like that. So here I am, back on Drop Balls podcast. I'm still doing my sports after dark stuff with my boy Heavy and his lovely wife Ashley Baker. Still doing my stuff with them. Um, and Drop Balls podcast, and you can find me on Twitter at Drop Balls Pod on Twitter. Find me on Twitch, Drop Balls Pod on Twitch. For those of you who are not watching on Twitch, and on YouTube, of course, if you're not watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Drop Balls Pod on YouTube, or Drop Balls Podcast on YouTube as well. Um, Me and my boy Coach B, we got our tape don't or yeah, tape don't lie. I was about to say film don't lie, but it's tape don't lie. That's also on YouTube. TDL Film Study. I believe that's the Twitter handle, TDL Film Study. And then on YouTube, I believe it's Tape Don't Lie or TDL Film Study on YouTube as well. I'll get that to y'all later. Get that information to y'all later for sure. Um, but yeah, man, a little bit about my background besides the job and all that other stuff. Um, I was a former college athlete. I didn't go to no big D1 school. I went NAIA, played college football there. Played college football at a junior college in California called Grossmont College. Played at Bethany College in Kansas. That was the NAIA school. Um, you know, Played all sports through high school, basketball, football, uh, ran track, all of that stuff. Originally from Florida, that's where I went to high school at. That's where I played sports at. Play football in Pop Warner, and I joke around about how football turns a lot of dudes into basketball players. I ain't gonna lie, I was almost one of them. I was almost one of them. I playing Pop Warner, got hit one time, took my first hit, and I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm done. Like I'm done. But my mom and my pops, they was like, nah, stick it out for the season. And if you don't like it after that, then hey, you can go play something else. Stuck it out for the full season. Never got hit like that again. Ever. Never will. Never have. None of that. Um, but yeah, so we started at Pop Warner. Um, kept doing Pop Warner until I got into high school. Then football in high school, played running back. Uh, and then in college, I switched to receiver because they said I was too small to play running back. I was what, about 5'10", 5'11", in high school. 185 pounds. By the time I got to college, I was 6 foot, 185 pounds. It was like, yeah, you gonna play receiver. Play receiver or corner, you choose. I chose receiver. And I was one of those, I like the contact. I wasn't one of those receivers that was a diva that shot away from the contact. I like run blocking, but I was a former running back. So, the contact wasn't, it was familiar. It was a familiar place for me. I was the type of receiver go across the middle. I don't care about that. I'll be back there with the linebackers. That don't that don't make me nothing. I'll go up there and hit up the safeties real quick. That don't make nothing. It ain't nothing to me. So so yeah, and so I mean, after I was done with college, I mean, football, it provided me the space to get my college degree. Um, met a ton of people that I still have relationships with these days. Met some people, teammates that went on to play in the league and everything like that. So, um, yeah, man, it afforded me a lot of things, and I'm very grateful for football. Now, it also afforded me some ailments in my legs and my arms, and all of those other things. But it was good to me, man. Football was good to me, so I'll never bash it. It was good to me, and it allowed me to get my education and everything, and that was amazing. Um, but yeah, so like I said, we're gonna talk sports on here. And matter of fact, let me get these. Let me make sure I'm getting these pages right for y'all, so that way y'all can go follow them, go subscribe, all of that. Whether it's on YouTube or on what is it called, or Twitter, X, whatever. So yeah, YouTube is TDL Film Study, at Tape Don't Lie dash 24 on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. We discuss NFL, college film. I think the last one we did was about 2 weeks ago. We might roll Sunday. I don't know. My boy, he in Vegas for he out there for the NCAA tournament stuff. All the March Madness and stuff going on. So he out there for that. Um, but then on Twitter, it is at TDL Film Study. So go follow us on Twitter. Like I said, follow me on Twitter at Dropballs Pod, as well as Sports at the Dark. Man, Sports at the Dark is dope. I believe we coming back in April, so make sure y'all tap in. It's Sports at the Dark on YouTube, and then it's Sports at the Dark or Sports a Dark underscore on Twitter. So make sure to go follow those. Um, but yeah, man, and look, if the audio isn't good, let me know in the comments, um, so I can fix that because I want to make sure I'm giving y'all the best audio, the best product I possibly can. Um, let me see something because I'm gonna go listen to it too to make sure like we in there, make sure I'm giving you some good quality content that you all can actually hear and listen to. Um, but like I said as well, I'm gonna be playing video games too. So like I'll be playing Call of Duty. During the day, I'm probably gonna be playing like MLB The Show or college football or something like that, something sports related. But later on in the day, and I'll be streaming on YouTube and Twitch, playing Call of Duty. Doing different things like that. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get into it. Um, like I said, we're gonna talk sports daily sports events, things that are going on in the sports world. And I'm also going to give you all a segment. Now, I'm stealing this from Sports at the Dark, right? Because we was on YouTube. We have a segment called Ask Lou, Ask Hev, Ask AB, right? For this, we're going to have Ask Lou. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking questions from the comments. You know, if y'all have questions out there, y'all can send those questions to me, and I'll answer those questions while we streaming, while we going. So, uh if you got anything, let your boy know. But like I said, let's get into it. About to switch over to MLB The Show. Play that a little bit while we chatting, while we talking. Here we go. See, already technical difficulties, man. We already getting started. As soon as I do that, the app wanna close out. There we go. We getting back up. Here we go. Here we go. Bear with me, y'all. It's whenever I go from full screen to like the gaming screen, then the PS app, the PlayStation app kind of want to trip out or something. And it's still doing it right now. All right. Give me a second, y'all. We gonna get right. All right. The hell? No, it's frozen. There we go. PlayStation gotta update their app. There we go. Now we active. All right. So, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I want to talk about this again today because, like I said, we starting over again. We starting over again. It's still crazy. There we go. All right, yeah. We starting things over again. So I want to go back through this and talk about this. So yesterday it came out that the NFL, they having their meetings, right? The owner meetings, the league meetings, and of course, at those meetings, teams go out there and they submit their proposals for rule changes, for things that they want changed for things they want changed. And so I got to make sure everything's live on YouTube as well. Yeah, so they submitted their proposals for rule changes, and I believe there was like three different teams that was submitting proposals, right? It was the Lions, the Eagles, and who's the other team? The Lions, the Eagles, and the Packers. So the Lions submitted two rule changes. They submitted a rule change for the got to make sure I can hear the game too in the background.
Runner at first, coming up to the dish for Columbus, Chris Lewis.
Okay, cool, we good. All right, my bad, y'all. Like I said, we just trying to get the audio right, trying to get everything together to make sure everything's running smoothly, and I'm giving you all the best product. But anyway, so the Lions submitted two rule changes. They submitted a rule change for the seeding for the playoff seeding. Um, that teams that win their division, or the teams that don't win their division, if they have a better record than a divisional opponent, then, or if they have a better record than a division winner, then they should be a higher seed than them. And while I understand, like I get it, because you had a better record, you played a better season, you had a better season than a divisional winner. Let's say you went 11-6, they went 9-8, but they won their division. Like let's say it's the AFC South or the NFC South or something like that. And the only reason I use those is because those are probably two of the worst divisions in baseball or in football right now. And so keep going, bro. Come on. See, this is one thing I don't like about this game is the directional base running or whatever. I gotta figure that out. But anyway, so I get it. Like you went 11 and 6, they went 9 and 8. You believe just because they won a division, they should not be ahead of you as a higher seed. So I get it in theory, right? But to me, if you do that, that defeats the purpose of the divisions. Like if you're gonna do that, you might as well get rid of the divisions, right? You might as well go ahead, get rid of the divisions, and just seed them one through 7 or however many teams it is. I think it's 1 through 7. Seed them 1 through 7. Um. So yeah, just get rid of the divisions. But my thing is, instead of complaining about it, win your division. And the thing is, the Lions won their division last year. So I don't understand what their issue is. They won their division, and I mean, they beat the Vikings to win the division in the last game of the season, and it was a very good game. But they won the division, so I don't understand why they have an issue with it. Like I would think, like uh, maybe the Vikings would have an issue with it because they probably believe they should have had a home game over a team like the Commanders or some other team that was a higher seed that won their division. Actually, no, the Commanders didn't win their division. Who won their division last year in the NFC? Let me look real quick. That they could have been competing with to
2 outs, runner on first base.
Let's see. Let me look at the standings real quick. Oh, okay. So maybe they should have been like a higher seed than Tampa Bay, right? But my thing too is that you got into. I think I said this yesterday. Good teams win games whether they're at home or on the road. We saw that with the Kansas City Chiefs. Every year we talked about how Kansas City never goes on the road to play in the playoffs, and we saw it the year before with Kansas City. They were on the road in the playoffs. They won their games. They won the Super Bowl. So my thing is, good teams, no matter where you're playing at, you're gonna win. The Vikings, and actually the Vikings did. I think they did have a home game. Did they have a home game? Let me see. No, the Rams. They went to LA. That's right. They had to go to LA for the game, and they lost to the Rams, and they got dominated by the Rams. And I don't think anything would have changed. No, I don't think nothing would have changed whether they play at home or in LA. It wouldn't have mattered because they got their ass beat. The offensive line got destroyed by Jared Verse and company. And yeah, it just wasn't an easy game for them. And I don't think that would have changed even if they would have played at home in Minnesota. I don't think that would have changed. So the Lions are submitting that proposal for them to change the seating and everything, and I just don't agree with it. And if they do that, then you might as well get rid of the divisions because at this point, there's no point in winning your division at all. So yeah, you might as well get rid of it. Then the Lions also proposed for, I believe it was a defensive, illegal contact or a defensive holding. Instead of that being an automatic first down, that it should just be like a 5-yard penalty. And I agree with that. I believe it is already a 5-yard penalty or something like that, but it's an automatic first down. I don't think it should be an automatic first down. If the defensive holding, and this is my opinion, if the defensive holding occurs within the first 5 yards, 5 to 9 yards, right? Whatever. If it occurs like 5 to 10 yards, 5 to 9 yards, then it should be a 5-yard penalty, no automatic first down. And that's only if it's like, if it's like 2nd and 5, then it's a 5-yard penalty. It is an automatic first down, of course, right? Because you got the 5 yards, that's a first down. But if it's like, 1st and 10, 1st and 6, or something like that, it should not be an automatic first down. It should just be 1st and 1, first and 5, rather than an automatic first down. But if it goes beyond that, if it's like past 10 yards where you're doing defensive holding or illegal contact, and usually that's something that occurs before the ball is in the air, because once the ball is in the air, then of course it's pass interference. But it occurs before the ball is in the air. So if it's I'm not gonna get that out. I'm not gonna get that one either. If it's past 10 yards, then yes, that should be an automatic first down. Especially like I said, if the ball is not in the air. automatic
Tough
first
way
down.
for them to fall
But if
behind
it's
in this
under
one.
10
An infield
yards,
single that brings home a
nah,
run can
it
be
shouldn't
so
be an automatic first down. It should just be
They'll have to
the 5-yard
refocus
penalty,
and
and
not
that's
let
it.
this get out of hand. One
So
out
I
and
agree
runner
with
at
that one that
second.
the Lions are
Chris
trying to get done.
Lewis now
I
at
don't
the plate.
agree with this, the reseeding of the teams for the playoffs. Um, and then the Eagles,
In the
damn.
dirt, but
Then the
blown.
Eagles proposed that the overtime rules that are in the playoffs apply to the regular season as
Whips it
well,
to
and
first.
I agree
Two
with that.
away.
I don't understand why there's two different playoff rules, one for the postseason, one for the regular season. I mean, I get games in the regular season can
Digging in
end in a
next
tie,
for the
and that's
Blue
fine, and I
Wahoos,
get games in
Jeffrey
the postseason
Farkas.
cannot end in a tie, and that's fine as well because it's the postseason, right? But I don't understand why there's two different playoff rules, from a sense of in the postseason, both teams get a possession, no matter what happens in that first. Nah, you gotta be kidding me.
Has some trouble with
That's
it.
crazy.
Still able
No
to get
matter
it
okay,
every
no
time.
matter what
And they come
happens in
away
that
with an
first
out after a tricky
that first
start to the
possession,
play.
that first possession, because like
This is where the
in
PFPs
regular
and
season,
teams run in spring
if the
training come
opening
into
if the
play.
the team that gets
Nice
the ball
job
first scores a
at first to
touchdown,
knock the
they
ball down
automatically
and
win.
keep it on the
Oh,
infield,
okay, it
and
didn't
then
really
get
matter
it to the
anyway.
pitcher
If the
covering
team that
back
gets the
for
ball
the
first
out.
scores a touchdown, they win the game. In the postseason, both teams get a possession. No matter what happens in that first possession, if the team scores, if they don't score, nothing. Or if they score a touchdown, it don't matter. The other team will always get another possession, or will get a possession.
Lewis, just 21 years old,
I think that
and he
rule
was
should apply for
drafted
the
in the
regular
7th
season as
round
well.
in 2024.
Give both teams a possession, and go from there. Um, so I do agree with that. I do agree with the Eagles wanting that rule changed, and that's fine. Um, now let's get to the Packers, man, because
Winkler.
this rule change the Packers want, I feel is like some whole stuff. And look, my apologies. I'm gonna let y'all know. I curse. Look, I'm an adult. I curse. I believe most adults curse. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna watch some of the stuff I say, but for the most part, yeah. I'm sorry. If that turns you off from listening, then my apologies. I'll try to be better. But listen, man, it just is what it is. Um, but it's some whole shit. I'm gonna just say that. I think with the bro, I am terrible right now. I think what the Packers are trying to do is not good. I don't think it's good for the game of football. And I understand you can have whatever opinion you want about the tush push. I get it. People don't like it. They don't like it at all. I understand that, right? But at the end of the day, man, you got to stop it. You got to be able to stop it. And I'm not talking about stopping it by complaining to the NFL that you want the rule change and you want the tush push ban. No, I'm saying you got to stop it by line up, low man wins. That's essentially what the Eagles are doing. The offensive line gets lower than the defensive line, and that's how they're able to submarine the quarterback forward. I've seen teams stop the tush push that the Eagles run. So listen, it can be done. It's not like it can't be done. So get in there and stop it. Do what you got to do to stop it. Instead of going to the NFL or going to the league and be like, hey, we got to ban the tush push. We got to take the tush push out of here. Like I said, that's some whole shit, man. Be better. Just be better. So those are the I guess the 4 rule changes I've seen. Like I said, the Lions had 2. I agree with the Lions about the illegal contact, defensive holding. I agree with with the Eagles about the overtime rules, like keeping the postseason overtime rules for the regular season as well. I disagree with banning the tush push. I disagree with I disagree with the reseeding for the playoffs. I don't agree with either one of those. And again, like I said, the tush push, yes, it's hard to stop. I get it. And you got a quarterback that squats about 600 pounds. Then you got a tight end and a running back pushing him forward. But again, low man wins. And there's a couple times, hey, look, you go over the top, you might be able to stop him. It can be stopped. And also, like, just don't get in those situations. Easier said than done, but don't get in those situations to where you got to try to stop the tush push. You already know it's coming. If it's 3rd or 4th and 1, you know what's coming. God,
This pitch popped up,
especially if it's a close one, like a close 1 yard.
makes the catch.
If it's
and
like,
there's
you
two
know,
down.
it could be a 3rd and 2 or like a 3rd and 1.9.
First baseman.
They probably won't. I mean, they still might do it. I ain't. Who am I
One
kidding?
away and a
If it's
runner
3rd and 3, they
first.
probably not doing
And
it.
here's the catcher, Brian.
But if it's 3rd and 2, they might do it. But yeah, man, low man wins. Just get in there and stop it. That's really all you got to do.
Grounder might be two.
And I know it's hard. I get it. It's hard to do. There we go. Turn the double
And
play.
that's the inning. So they go
You got one more
quietly
chance to win this
on to
game.
the bottom of the ninth. Top of the order due up next. Pensacola with the lead. 5.
By the way, y'all, look, man, my birthday is next Wednesday, and I'm trying to reach 50 followers on Twitch. We're at 39 right now. We're trying to get those numbers up. Also on YouTube, I think I'm at like 83. I'm trying to at least get to 100. It probably won't happen. That probably won't happen by my birthday, but I'm at least trying to get to 100. So that way we can continue to grow the channels, and do this thing the right way. But yeah, so
That's a base hit.
all right, I gotta talk about the 244-pound elephant in the
He
room.
really showed some
Y'all see the
great
logo
right there.
behind me,
Down to
the light.
last strike, and he's
Most of y'all that
through
have
it
followed
to
me
keep them
before,
alive.
or if you follow me on Twitter, or yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, then you know I'm a Colts fan.
2 flyouts and a ground out.
I'm a New York Yankees fan. I'm still hurting from the World Series last year because that Game 5 was horrendous. I'm a Seattle Kraken fan. For the hockey people out there. I'm still learning hockey. I don't know much about hockey to really be in here talking about it. So we're not going to really talk much about hockey until I really get the rules down and get everything down with that, the ins and out of the league.
This pitch
Damn,
popped up.
I have not been having a good day at the plate. I'm
Ball game.
a Miami Heat fan. We're terrible.
Just a so-so performance at the plate, so he'll wanna do
This
better
might go to
next
show that we might should have did Jimmy Butler right. I blame Pat Riley for that. Pat Riley been on some bull since Wade and Bosh and them left. He been on that
Next
bull
to hit,
and
Chris
LeBron. I
Lewis.
can't forget
Some
LeBron.
early struggles for him this season. He'll wanna get on the right track soon.
Yeah, so those are my squads. But like I said, I gotta talk about the 244-pound elephant in the room, and that's Anthony Richardson. He did not have a good year
Dylan
last year.
Cruz leads off of first with 2 away.
It wasn't that great. Hold on, let me see something because I don't know if it's pulling my chats. Okay, there we go. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't know if it was pulling my chats for Twitter, so I don't even know if people are saying anything. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, but yeah, the 244-pound elephant in the room, and that's Anthony Richardson, man. Like, he wasn't good last year. He had some spurts where he looked really good, like the game against the Steelers before he got hurt. The New York Jets game, he looked pretty good. The Patriots game, it was kind of sorta. But yeah, like the biggest thing for me with him is he has to stay healthy. If he can't stay healthy, then none of this stuff, none of it matters. Last year he hurt his, I think he hurt his hip in the Steelers game. And I think he hasn't played more than 5 games in a row or something like that. But like he hurt his hip in the Steelers game. Then we know he got benched for Joe Flacco. We all saw how that went. And I mean, they sat up there and lied and said Joe Flacco gave us the best chance to win, and the lie detector determined that was a lie because we all saw how that played out. Damn, we couldn't turn 2. We all saw how that played out, and then you had then he came back in, and then he missed. What was it? The New York Giants game. When was what? I gotta go back and look at the schedule, but it was the Broncos game. He played. Then he missed the Giants game. Hold on, I gotta. There's something I gotta look at real quick because it's probably some bull. But yeah, so it was Come on, get me to what I'm looking for. There we go. So yeah, he played. Okay, he played the Denver game. He played the Tennessee game. Then he missed the Giants and the Jaguars game. The last two games of the season. And I mean, really, those two games ain't matter. After losing to Denver, none of this stuff really, nothing really mattered at that point. That New York Giants game was disgusting. I remember I woke up at like I woke out because I had drank the night before, and so I woke up and I turned on the game, or I looked at the score on my phone, and I was like, "Oh hell no!" Nah. And so I turned my phone off and went back to sleep. I think I woke up right before, like in the like halfway through the third quarter or something, and I started watching the game. I woke back up around the middle of the third quarter, started back watching the game, and it was just a terrible game all around. Joe Flacco looked terrible, just like he looked terrible against the Bills, just like he looked terrible against Minnesota. Did not look good at all. Um, but he Anthony Richardson had was having back spasms because of a disc issue or whatever. So he was having real bad back spasms. And look, man, I understand, back issues aren't anything to play around with, but also it could be a thing where maybe he wasn't taking care of his body properly. And even if he wasn't, that's a bad thing. Um, or maybe like not, and I'm not gonna say not taking care of his body properly because maybe that's the wrong thing to say. Um, and I want to be because I believe in AR, so I want to be careful with my words and what I'm saying. Um, and I believe if he can put it together, he can stay healthy. He can improve his accuracy, which he's working with Chris Hess this offseason, which he's already did the biomechanic stuff before, or like the mechanical stuff before. But I don't know if it's he has to tweak it, especially because after the shoulder surgery, and tweak some things, fix some things out, iron some things out, get better, um, work his mechanics better, so that way he can stay consistent in them. So he's working with Chris Hess. He's working with his people, working out with Josh Allen. There was another person, Gorley or something like that. He's working out with him, which is like a biomechanic doctor dude or whatever. So what I feel like is with Chris Hess, he's working on his mechanics, and then with the I believe it's Gorley. Hold on, let me look it up because I saw the picture the other day, so I want to make sure I'm getting things right. I don't want to be out here lying and stuff or messing up people's names. I don't want to mess up people's names. Um, but anyway, he's getting some stuff in, like he's getting some stuff together and trying to make sure he's doing the right things. And that's good to see. And especially because the whole benching thing, yeah, they said it was for they say it's because Joe Flacco gave us the best chance to win, which I thought was bullshit. He didn't. I don't understand how you think a 40-year-old quarterback gave us the best chance to win, but whatever. Um, but he and I get it. If he wasn't, and this is another thing. Like everybody's saying, like, oh well, he wasn't putting in the work. He wasn't putting in the work. That wasn't what was said last year. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back to the game. I just, I'm looking for this tweet. Um, that's not what was said last year. What was said was that he works hard, but he wasn't doing the stuff that you want your quarterback to do, your franchise setter to do, your franchise CEO to do. He wasn't doing that. Like he wasn't getting there at like 5 a.m. and leaving at 8 p.m. because he been watching film and doing all these other things, talking to the coaches, all this, all of that stuff. Like he wasn't doing that extra that you want your franchise quarterback to do. And I mean, I guess the tap out against the Texans, and I get it. I can't defend it because I didn't like it. Like especially because you knew all you were gonna do the next play was, and I'm looking at the screen, but all you knew you was gonna do the next play was hand the ball off because it was second, or it was the when he threw the dude off of him, the defensive tackle, it was like second and 23. It was second and goal from like the 23-yard line. So you're not really you're not really at the goal line. You're not really you're not really second and goal. You're at the 23-yard line. Yes, you're still in the red zone, or I guess, but you're not second and goal. And he threw the dude off, or maybe that was third down, or no, that was second down because then the next play they handed the ball off, and the next play they kicked the field goal. So you threw the dude off, and then you got up there, whatever. You tapped out because you were tired. And if anybody watches that drive, if you go back and watch that drive, you could understand the man being tired because he literally did everything he could to drive them down the field. And I think there was a play we scored on, and it got called back because of offensive holding. So he did everything he could to get them down the field and do get us in range to try to win that game, or at least get some points on the board. Um, and then the next drive he came back and led a touchdown drive. Again, I can't defend the tap out. I understand him being tired. I watching that drive, I understand him being exhausted. But you're the franchise quarterback. You can't do that. You can't tap out. I understand you tired. I understand you're exhausted. Whatever. All you're doing is taking a hike and handing the ball off. So that, like I said, I can't really get behind it. I can't really agree with it. I understand being tired, but I can't agree with it. But anyway, so again, I'm still looking for this tweet because I can't find it. I'm just sitting here talking about him tapping out. Um, and now they wanted to bring in competition this year. They went and got Daniel Jones, which look, man, if you can't beat out Daniel Jones, it might be time to chalk it. Because Daniel Jones, he's not it. I'm sorry. He's not it. And I understand. Colts fans talking about, oh, well, he won a playoff game with the Giants. It's sad that the bar is so low for the Indianapolis Colts that we're talking about, oh, well, he won a playoff game. That's where the bar is. That's that's all we want. It's just a playoff game. No, thank you. I need more than a playoff game, dog. I need more than a playoff game. I'm not just doing this for a playoff game win. I want a ring. I want a Super Bowl ring. If we at the point where we just want a playoff win, then what are we doing here? Like that's where the bar is. Yeah, I don't. No, I'm good. But that's where the bar is. The bar is low. So I mean, yeah, this ain't nah. We gonna block that. But anyway, so yeah, it's Tom Gormley. I hope I'm saying that right. Tom Gormley. But he's a doctor, whatever. He's like what I believe he's doing is AR. I think at this point is probably tearing his body down to build it back up. And what I mean by that is fixing the mechanical issues that may have caused the back problems, maybe causing him to, the hip pointers, the hip flexors or whatever, getting his body back right to sustain an NFL season. Because like I said, the biggest thing for him is staying on the field. Your best ability is availability. And if you in coming in, he was such a raw product. And I mean, granted, there were some really good things that he can do. His sack avoidance, his his feel in the pocket, great things, right? Like he can do great things there. The arm is amazing. Like the arm is crazy, changing the arm angles, the deep ball, all of that. We saw the ball that he threw to Alec Pierce where he slipped at the 50 and then launched that bit. Like right, we saw that. So we know the arm is crazy. We know he's a big, strong, fast athlete. But what does that matter if you can't stay on the field? But we also knew he needed reps. And the only way you can get reps is by being healthy enough to get those reps. If you can't get those reps, then it's a failure. Because we knew he needed reps to fix his accuracy. We knew he needed reps to fix all these different things. And so I really think what he's doing with Gormley, which I think that, they've been he's worked. I don't know if he's worked with them before. I know he's with the Cortex team or whatever that Anthony Richardson works out with during the off season, in Jacksonville. Duval County, baby. That's what your boy. That's where your boy from. So but I know he works out with them or whatever. I don't know, but I think what he's doing, he's tearing his body down to build it back up so that way he can sustain an NFL season. Biggest thing, stand on the field, right? So now you stay on the field, but you got to put in the work, man. And I think that's what the Chris Hess stuff is, the Josh Allen stuff is, working out with them, so that way he's putting in the work. And I said it on Twitter yesterday, a healthy offseason, because remember last year he didn't have a healthy offseason. If anybody has, if you've sustained a season-ending injury, or if you sustained a big injury, then you have to build that part of your body back up. And it's not build it up to really be better. You got to just get it back to the point that it was at. Because after the surgery, you lose your muscle. I tore my ACL, so like before my surgery, I was doing not squats, but I was doing leg press, doing different things. Right? Hold on. Oh, I missed it. I was doing leg press and doing different things to like kind of to make sure, you know, to make sure I would have at least some type of muscle after my surgery. I wouldn't have a lot of muscle loss after my surgery. There's a word for it. I can't say the word, so I'm not even gonna try to say it on camera. Um, but to try not to lose all that muscle. But even when you come back, when you're able to, you got to build that back up, and it takes time. And so during the off season, he was just trying to get back to where he was. Now he has an off season where I don't have to worry about that. I can just go work on my craft, go perfect my craft, and I just hope, man. I hope when the season, not when the season, but when the training camp comes, I hope my boy is back to where he needs to be. I hope he's not back. I hope he's where he needs to be in order to win a quarterback competition against Daniel Jones and continue as the Colts franchise quarterback. Um, I know it's going to take a lot of work for him, and I think. Oh, that's what I said on Twitter. I said a healthy offseason equals 1,000% locked in, and I don't know where people got the notion that I was thinking that it was going to translate into the season. Which, when you put in hard work, it usually translates into the season. And so I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. But I'm glad to see him locked in. That's a good sign. Seeing him locked in is a good sign. Seeing him working with these different dudes is a good sign. So I hope he's locked in. Hope he's doing what he needs to do. Hope he's staying in his playbook, getting a better understanding of the plays and his progressions and what he's supposed to do. Because it looked like last year they probably took some of the training wheels off, and you got more freedom to go out there and do some things. And he struggled. Like I said, he struggled a bit. And I don't think his decision making is all that bad. I think he does make some bad decisions. I don't think it's terrible, but because I've seen worse. Trust me, I've seen worse. But there's still, like I said, there's still things to learn. He's 22 years old, man. The kid don't have a lot of reps at quarterback in college and in the NFL. And like I said, the biggest thing is you got to stay healthy. Hamstrings got to be right. Knees got to be right. Your back got to be right, especially for rotational athletes. So I think, like I said, I think the big thing for him is he's breaking himself down, building himself back up. Um, and it's good though, because if he can come along the way they have constructed this team, we can make a little bit of noise. Going out and get Travarius Ward, going out and get Cameron Bynum upgrades the secondary tremendously. Cam Bynum is an upgrade over Julian Blackman. I'm sorry. I like Julian Blackman, but Cam Bynum is an upgrade. He's a ball hawk safety, and he'll help in that Lou Anarumo's defense. And then you still got Nick Cross. And then Travarius Ward. He's an upgrade over Juju Brents. Juju can't stay healthy. And he's likely an upgrade over Sam Womack. And Sam Womack played some pretty good football for us last year. He's an upgrade over Jalen Jones. He's our new cornerback one. But you add competition to that room, because now you got three players trying to battle it out for cornerback two. You got Jalen Jones, Juju Brents, and you got Sam Womack. Iron sharpens iron. You added competition to the room. Which, I mean, the competition was already there, but you brought in a solidified CB1. So now CB2, you got to battle there. You got to battle. Juju got to stay healthy. If you want that CB2 spot, you got to stay healthy. Because if you stay healthy, it's likely yours. And Jalen Jones, Sam Womack may be the odd man out. Jalen Jones, you there just in case Juju gets hurt again. And but I love it though. I love that. Now we need to address linebacker. We need to address defensive end, because we don't have a defensive end on the roster outside of Latu beyond this year. Kwity Paye is on his 5th-year option. And then Of course, Samson, he's on his last year of his deal. He got hurt last year, which sucked,
Lewis.
but he's on the last year of his deal.
Throw to
Taekwon
first.
Lewis,
Out.
I
What
think
a
might be on the
play.
last year of his
Didn't
deal.
get the out, but it
I
was
think,
pretty
yeah, because I think he
close.
only got like a 2-year deal, and he might want out anyway.
And next, the cleanup
Um,
hitter, Chris Lewis.
and then yeah, so all you got is Grover, Buckner, and
Next pitch
Latu on
popped
the
foul.
roster
This
after
one
this,
off
and
to
we
the right,
let
and
Dayo
it'll get out
walk.
of play.
So yeah, we gotta address that. We gotta address linebacker. We gotta address right guard. We need a backup
He
running
swings
back.
and fouls one off.
We signed Khalil Herbert, but I think we need a backup running back. Um, and then
Now here's the 0-2.
really that's about it. I think we're
Gets a
set at
piece there
receiver.
with
That might
two
be
to
the only
get.
room I think we're 100% set at. I think Adonai Mitchell takes a leap this year. Josh Downs gonna be Josh Downs. Michael Pittman, I think he'll be better this year,
That one
especially because
hits.
he played through a back issue all last year, a back fracture. So I think he'll be better this year. And Alec Pierce had a huge jump last year,
Missed
800
inside
yards
on
and like
curveball.
36 receptions. When you got a quarterback that can reach him, he can do some things. So that was good to see from Alec Pierce. Like I said, I think that's the only room that I think we have solidified. Yeah, you may add another body in there, maybe for competition or something, but I don't think it's I don't think it's a need for that. Hold on, I want to read this article. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Let me bring this up because I want to read this because I gotta see what they're talking about, man. Do I want to do window? If we do browser source. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do browser source. That's the wrong thing. Display capture. My fault, y'all. No, we're not doing this one either. What the hell? My fault, gang. My dumbass. Here we go. Let's see, which window is it? Here we go. Boom. NFL coach has bad news for Anthony Richardson after Daniel Jones signing. It's now clear the former Minnesota backup Daniel Jones signed a one-year contract with Indianapolis Colts in free agency largely because Jones believes he can win the Indianapolis starting job. From Anthony Richardson during a recent chat with Mike Sando at the Athletic. And it's always an unnamed source. Always. Yeah, we don't have to change game plans for him because Jones can run. He can do some of the things that Anthony Richardson can do. But he can also get hurt just like Anthony Richardson, which he has shown over his career. Which that's another thing that I don't think nobody talks about is that Daniel Jones gets hurt a lot. Or he gets hurt a lot. It's another thing. But whatever. This would be the freest Daniel Jones that we have ever seen. The offensive coach added, expectations are off. The media market is totally different. Yeah, it is. You ain't got to worry about nobody being on your ass. The New York media is a lot different, but that's not really. All right. I thought that was going to be telling, but that ain't really nothing. Anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, this whole thing depends on Anthony, man. If he can't figure it out, I don't think like if Daniel Jones is our quarterback, we 9-8, 10-7.
On the ground, this should do it.
Anthony Richardson, if he figured it out, if he figures everything out, he'll be the one that takes us over the hump. I'm not saying to the Super Bowl, but I'm saying he's the one that can probably win us some games in the playoffs. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to win us games, plural, in the playoffs. I think he may win us one because that's what he can do. But I don't think I don't think he's the quarterback that's going to get us. You can't deny Anthony Richardson's talent. I mean, I get it. People love to try to deny it or love to try to downplay it or whatever. But you can't deny his talent. The man has talent. It's just a matter of putting it all together to where the talent can really get us to those wins. Get us to those wins that we need. So we'll see what happens. In other news, Danielle Hunter signed an extension with the Houston Texans. We saw that He had a 2 year. I think it was originally a 2 year deal, and he signed, a 1 year extension
It's the
with them.
Columbus Clingstones
And then
taking on the
today, that
Chattanooga
was yesterday, I believe. But then today, Michael Gallup just signed with the Commanders. He rejoins, or not rejoins, but he had retired last year. Like he had signed with the Raiders, in April, and then I think like right before camp in like July or June or something like that, he announced he was retiring. So that was kind of crazy. But he announced that he was coming. Maybe his body feels good, man. You have a season off where you can really get to work. You can really build your body back up.
Burns,
Um,
22 years old, a former
and so
first rounder
he
in
decided that it
2024.
was time to come out of
After rocking
retirement.
the last hitter, he just
And he
reached
signed
back
with the
for some
Commanders,
extra
which
velocity and pumped that
if
fastball by
what
for
he'll
a
probably
strike.
be
That's a
wide
good way to
receiver
reset after
3,
giving up the free
maybe.
pass.
Who else the Commanders have? Oh, they got Debo. That's right. So yeah, he'll probably be like wide receiver 3, um, maybe wide receiver 4, because they let
Gets
Diami
a piece there.
Brown go. Right, Diami Brown left. Um, so I mean, you get your quarterback another weapon, which that's what you want to do when you have a young quarterback on a rookie on a. Actually, he'll probably be receiver 4 because they got I forgot they got Noah Brown. So you got Terry Debo and Noah Brown. Then you got Michael Gallup. They got Mike Strachan over there, or I think that's how you pronounce his name. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but old boy that the Colts drafted back in the day, a few years ago. I didn't know they had him over there, but
And the
but yeah. So
reintroduce.
you got
Pitch
Terry
message
McLaurin, you got
on.
Debo, you got Noah Brown. Damn, Noah Brown and Michael Gallup, two former Cowboys, but they're over there with the Commanders with Dan Quinn, the former Cowboys DC.
And that one is
So
in the
he'll
dirt.
be wide receiver 4. I think they signed him on a 1 year deal. Can kind of he's only like 27, 29, so he still got some years left. Like
Dances
if
out
he
of the
can
way.
really put it
With the
together,
runner
he still
moving
got some
here, the
years
batter
left
has to find a
to
way to
where he
put
can
something in the
really
gap to
he
bring
could
him in.
probably
De
get
La
another
Cruz
contract. Not
leads off a
nothing
first
crazy,
with
like
two
nothing
out.
big, but could probably get another contract. How old is he? He was born in '96. Oh, he a March baby, just like me. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We rule the world, man. Yeah, he 29. Okay, that's what I thought. He 29. Well, yeah, the 96, 2025, 29. So yeah, he's still fairly young, even in
Lines it off,
NFL
we'll see
standards for
another.
wide receivers. He's still fairly young, so you could probably get him maybe if he shows out this year at his age 30 season, he'll probably get him like a 2 to 3 year
And
extension,
ball
2 to 3 year
4.
contract, and that'll be nice for him. Especially if his body can hold up and stuff like that.
Stepping to the plate for
But yeah,
Columbus,
that was
number
interesting
4.
to see. I don't think there's much else going on in the NFL world right now. I do want to look at this Daniil Hunter contract though. Look, man,
Now a
and
flare off the bat.
I
It
know
falls
March
in.
Madness is going
Headed for the
on,
plate.
but I ain't gonna
Now a
hold you.
long throw home.
I don't
And
watch
that
college
cut
basketball.
down
I
and
don't watch
ends
college
the
basketball
inning.
until this time of the
It's
year.
not easy for
So
most of
I
the base
don't. So
runners to
yeah,
the
it's
plate with
going
the two
on, but I
outs and
don't
a base
really
hit to the outfield, but a
know what's going on.
fantastic job to
You know what I
come up
mean?
with it,
Like
fire it in quickly,
I don't really
and put the
know
throw
what's going
right
on.
on the money. Great
So
technique
I'm not
all the
even
way
gonna try
around.
to get into
Nice
that.
job, and that ends the
I
inning.
don't. I don't want to really get into that because again, I don't want to be sound. I don't want to sound ignorant when I'm up
If
here
you're ready
talking.
to build your
I
dream
like to
home with
have
a moat and
information
a whispering gallery, call
to
AC
talk
Hines
sports, to talk
Architecture.
about these
If you
things.
don't want those things, call
Um,
someone else.
okay, so yeah, the Houston Texans. So this is from Tom Pelissero. The Texans and the Daniil Hunter have agreed to a 1 year, $35.6 million contract extension that makes him the NFL's second highest paid defensive end per sources. Hunter will make $32 million this season, which is a $12.5 million raise, and $55.1 million over the next 2 seasons. So this year and next year. So next year he'll make what, 23 million? Yeah, he'll make 23.1 million, and I guess 54.1 million is guaranteed over the next 2 seasons. So yeah, they gave him a nice little healthy pay raise. It's a nice little healthy pay raise. And I remember the Colts last year were
On the
in
run out to
on
short,
Daniil Hunter,
Lewis
but he wanted to go back home. I
whips
think
it to
I
first.
think they gave
That's the
him more
first out.
guaranteed money than the Colts were willing to
Welcome back
give
to
him,
Chattanooga, top of the fourth
which was
inning.
surprising this year. Getting Travarius Ward, he said he was about to sign with the Saints, and the Colts came in with more money.
Well, so far,
So,
so good from
hey,
him today,
hot
but
seat
as you get
Ballard,
to the meat of
hot
the
seat
order the
Ballard.
second time around, that's where an outing can turn
He on
on
his
you.
stuff.
Still, he's been on top of it to this
Jim,
point.
and maybe Jim Irsay decided, hey, let me open up the
Here's
the
the
little
0-2
wallet
pitch.
real quick, see what I got for you.
Line drive.
And if that
Makes a
happened, then
nice
that
running
helps a lot.
catch.
If your owner's willing to open up
Bases
that
are empty
pocketbook
when
for
you're
you,
away. Chris,
so that way open up the bank for you, so you can dish out a little bit of money.
we'll see how well the
What's
field
up,
holds up with
Alexa?
the way the rain is coming down. Drainage is a problem
I don't know,
with some
man.
playing
Hey, look,
surfaces
it'd
in
be
the
a lot of
minors,
bots
but
on
so
Twitch.
far, this field is
I
still
don't be
playable.
knowing what's real,
Something
what's
that bears
fake. I
watching.
just try to see what's going on. Be having to make sure.
Edge of the
That's
zone
good.
for
That's
a
good.
strike.
I'm just on here. Oh, appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'm just on here talking, some NFL while playing MLB The Show. Nah, I appreciate it. Like I said, hey man, sometimes you gotta make sure, especially on Twitch, man. It'd be a lot of bots on here, but nah, you good, you good. I appreciate the follow for sure.
And now it's even up.
Oh, we got the 41. I didn't even know we got the 41. All right, cool. But I appreciate the follow. Appreciate everybody that's
They
following.
tried to get a chase on a slider down and away.
Nah, for sure. We good. We good. But like I said, I'm just on here, talking NFL,
Middle, into the
playing
outfield,
MLB
base
The
hit,
Show,
and that keeps
just
the
talking,
inning
bringing the
alive.
podcast back, doing my podcast a little different than the others.
It's been a tough
It's
run
going
and
good.
for
It's
him
going
lately.
good.
He needed that base
But
hit. Nice down and in fastball. Tough
where was
for a
I
lot
at?
of hitters to get
But yeah,
to.
the Colts were in
Good
on
job to
Daniil
keep
Hunter
the
last
hands
year,
in
but
and drop that runner on the go.
I think it was too
what a
much money
great
for
play.
us.
And
It was too much
very
money for
nicely
us.
done for the out. So another good inning on
And
the
I
mound.
think Jim Irsay was, he was serious about opening up the book this year, so that way we could get some of these players in. Like I said, Chavez Ward, Cam Bynum, it was good. And Cam Bynum said he reached out to, Stephon Gilmore because he was on the team a few years
1-2
ago.
pitch.
He was teammates with Salubi, or not Salubi, Sengun Alubi.
Here comes the throw. Into second
And he
base
was
with
teammates
one
with him, I
away
think, in
as
high
the
school. So he
go-ahead
reached
run.
out to him,
What a great swing
talked to
there.
him
He
about,
really put a
the
line
Colts
into
and
that
stuff
base
like
hit.
that. So
Right
it made the
down
decision
line,
easy for
didn't
him.
overdo it, and kept it
So that's
fair
good to
for
know
enough.
that we were able to recruit some players, man. Good to know. Now we just got to figure out what we're doing in the draft. Pick 14. I could see us trade. I'll get on base. All right. I could see us trading back maybe, to maybe like 18, 20, seeing who wants who wants 14, who wants to come up, acquiring a little bit, a little bit more, acquiring, some more draft picks while moving back a little bit. Because to me, this draft is pretty top heavy. Like, I get it, the top 50 picks or whatever, or top 50 players, but I feel like it's top heavy where at 14 you might not get a blue chip player, or you could get a blue chip player a little bit later. It's very, I think, it's a very defensive draft and a very good tight end draft.
And the leadoff batter set down here in the ninth.
Is it a mascot, a stream mascot, or something like that?
The left fielder, number 34.
But yeah, I stream Call of Duty and Call of Duty, NCAA, different games, sports games mostly.
Right, and that should do
There we go.
the catch is made to
But
him.
yeah, so we
He's capable of giving
where was
them more
that?
than he did today.
That was my
Nothing
train of
too
thought.
bad, but nothing
Oh,
great either.
it's a
And
very
they may
defensive
need
draft. I
great to
think
get the
there's,
win.
a ton of good tight ends in this draft. Receivers, maybe after the top 5, not necessarily that it falls off, but like after Ted, Burden, Golden, I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for at that point. But after those names, I mean, Ayo Maynard's fine. The other Texas receiver, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be pretty good. Just depends on what you need from him, or what your need in your receiving room. But we're not, like I said, we're not looking for a receiver. I think we looking for a linebacker, looking for a tight end, looking for a defensive end, and I think we can get
And it's
I was
1-0.
watching some of
Good job to let the
Schwessinger's
low
film
one
the other
go
day
there.
from UCLA. Hey, who were they playing? They were playing Iowa, and Brody kind of nice, man. I ain't gonna lie. I like what
And
I
they're
saw
out in
from him.
front with a 1-0 lead.
He kind of nice for real.
Throw comes in and holds the runner at third. They're at the corners now with still only one away. Mission accomplished there as he picks up the RBI to give him the lead. That one might as well have been placed on a tee right down the middle.
Oh
of
nah, I got
hitter's
somebody
green
working on
to the
something for
pitcher's
me
stripe.
already. So I'm
And
waiting for
now
them to
it's
get
gonna
that
be
back to me
Bryson
so I can update my stuff. I appreciate it though. Damn,
Snap throw to
get back.
first. Tag picked off.
But yeah, so like
Great move from the
I was
lefty on
watching
the mound.
Schwessinger's
Got
film the
runner
other night,
hesitating there,
and
once
man,
they're frozen, you're cooked.
Brody is
First
nice.
pickoff for the out.
I ain't gonna lie, I
Coming up
wasn't
to the
familiar
dish
with his
for
game because
you,
I didn't really
Jim
watch a lot
Cole.
of UCLA last year,
Here comes the 1-2
so I wasn't
pitch.
really familiar with his game. But Brody's pretty
Short,
nice,
could be
man.
two.
He's pretty good. And then they got a defensive end who's I think he's very raw. He had like 4.5 sacks last year. But he used to play linebacker, and they moved him to defensive end. It more was like I think UCLA runs a 3-4, so like or 3-4 or something. So like he was like or a base 3-4. So he's like the outside backer, edge rusher type. But he looked pretty good. He looked like he's still learning, learning his pass rush moves, learning how to pass rush. But he was solid in the run game. And even with like Schwessinger, like when an offensive lineman gets latched onto him, it's hard for him to get off those blocks. But he plays downhill. He plays downhill. He recognizes plays well. He can decipher, the mesh point quickly, so that way he knows where he needs to get. And he's good in pass coverage, which that's what we need. We need another pass coverage linebacker. I mean, we got Carlisle, but I think we need another one. Especially now that EJ is gone, we definitely need a will or a weak side backer. So yeah, we definitely gonna be in the market for that. Defensive end, we could probably get in like the third round, maybe fourth. Especially if we looking to do from UCLA, probably get him. I don't think he gonna go high, because production isn't really there. So you just betting on upside really at that point.
The 3-2 pitch.
But like if we went,
Grounder might be two.
like I said, we set ourselves up to where with Cam Bynum and Ward, where we don't have to go DB in the first round. If we didn't sign either one of them, if we just signed a corner, we were likely going safety in the first. If we signed safety, we were likely going corner in the first, and we very well still could. I mean, if Will Johnson is there, I wouldn't be mad if we took him. But we gave ourselves, we gave ourselves the ability to really just go BPA in the first round, and then maybe in the second you go get you a linebacker. In the third, you get you an offensive guard. Fourth, you can get you an edge rusher, because we do need one. And to me, after Abdul Carter, like I'm not really sold on taking an edge rusher at 14. Like, it's doing that. But after Abdul Carter, I'm not really sold at taking an edge rusher at 14. So, I mean, we could go defensive tackle at 14. I wouldn't mind that. It depends on who's there, though. Or maybe, trade back to 20, go defensive tackle. Because we need somebody behind Buck and Grove. So, I wouldn't be mad at that either. He's out. That's crazy. If you allow me so I can show you.
I know they're looking for a spark, but this isn't the way to do it. When you're down like this,
it was free, man. They hooked me up. But my IG's on my page. If you want to follow me, then I can still take a look at your work and stuff. But my IG is on my IG's on my page. But yeah, so go edge, go. Oh, I said defensive tackle. Yeah, because we need somebody behind Grove and I mean we signed Gallimore, but we need somebody long term. They need to fill out the roster beyond 2026, right? So or beyond 2025. So we got to figure that out. But yeah, like I said, linebacker second, maybe third offensive guard, depending on who they have on their list. Offensive guard or
tags at
Oh,
second.
let me get that. Let me get that. Let me get that. Oh, be there.
Moves up a
Offensive
base,
guard
so two away with
or
runners at the
defensive
corners.
end in the third. Then in the fourth, go offensive guard or defensive end. You know, whichever we don't pick in the third, you pick them in the
Next
fourth.
to hit, Chandler Siegel.
Um,
Hitting at
I
the
think that'll be
bottom of the
solid for the
order.
Colts,
Not a
man.
lot of success at the dish lately,
And
but
I mean,
could
shoot,
start to move up with a
if
good
Colts win,
performance
you
in a
know,
big
next year,
moment
not
like
win it all,
this.
but if we win some
Tying run
games, we
waits
make
at
the
the plate.
playoffs and stuff, Ballard probably
Ibarra
saves his job.
takes it to the
Shane
bag,
Steichen
and that'll do it.
saves his job. Anthony Richardson saves his
Next to
career.
hit for the Flintstones,
um,
Carlos Rodriguez.
but yeah, so that'll be good for us, man. That'll be good for us.
Got the hitter looking for the strikeout.
Hold on, let me see.
This game is over.
Somebody
He was a difference maker for
knock
them
on
in
my
this
door?
one. They took the loss, but he did a nice job to contribute.
I don't know. Thought I heard somebody knocking. Let me see. I think that's really all that's happening in the football world. I think next week, man. Next week I'm or not next week, but tomorrow I'm gonna probably give y'all some players to look at. Give y'all some I'm gonna look at some more you know, some more things, some more film and stuff to kind of really like break down
Digging in at the dish for
and
the
give y'all
Flintstones,
some
Chris
maybe some
Lewis
prospects later
drove
this week
in
to look
their
out for in the
only
draft
run in
next
last
month.
night's game.
But that's really all that's happening in the football
And
world. I mean,
that's
I know
outside.
basketball is look, man, in this household, football is king, right? Football is everything. Um, NBA is, you know, the
Good stuff
NBA.
right out of the gate.
I
He's
watch it.
already
I
featuring his
watch the
good
NBA.
fastball in this
To
one.
me, the NBA has been it's always been ass, but it's been especially ass this year. But really, the only reason it's been ass to me this year is because there's been a lot of players that's been getting hurt, and then they've been selling my parlays. Oh, what we got? Home run? Hey, we got to get that out of here. Out of here. Out of here. Yes, sir. Out of there. But yeah, they've been selling my parlays. But listen, hey, look, man, I ain't gonna hold you. There's some teams that have the Thunder looking really good. The Lakers looking really good. The Cavs looking really good, and I hate to say it, the Celtics still look good. I mean, they be in it with some teams they shouldn't be in it with, but they still end up winning. They look good. Who else? What, Lakers. I still can't believe they traded Luka to the Lakers. That had to be the dumbest thing ever. Or maybe it was smart to get Luka out of there because they knew it was coming. I don't know. But anyway, what I say, the Lakers. I said OKC. Denver got their ass whooped by the Lakers yesterday. I mean, again, there was no Jokic and no Jamal Murray, but oh well, you know, next man up. I mean, I get it. Like, those are two talents that you can't really. Well, I mean, Jamal Murray ain't really been all that, but those are two talents that you can't really replace. But still, next man up. Shoot, Shea and Jalen Williams ain't play for OKC, and they went out there and handled business. Chet was the only one on the court for them that was, you know, the big name. But yeah, those four teams look really good. I mean, even in Golden State. Golden State looks good, especially since they got Jimmy Butler. It's been able to free up a lot of stuff for Steph. Been able to help Steph out a bit. So it's been I mean, it hasn't been all ass, but it's just they've been selling parlays. They can't even hit their averages. I looked at the scoring averages the other day, and I couldn't believe that Anthony Edwards was averaging like 27 points a game. Couldn't believe KD was averaging 26 points per game, because anytime I bet on them, they can barely get 20. And I just take them for 20 to 25. So it's kind of crazy that, you know, it's crazy to see, because it's like, what? I knew Jokic was averaging like 29. I knew Shea was averaging like, you know, 30, because Shea get about 30 every night, every time that boy on the court. He respects the coin. Shea respect your coin. Jalen Williams respects your coin.
Payoff pitch.
Cade Cunningham respects your coin depending on
Swing,
what you're
ground
betting on.
ball out to short.
Cause sometimes when I bet on Cade,
Inning over.
that boy be
Two
selling me.
left on. We
I
move
ain't
on
gonna
to the
hold you.
bottom.
But for the most part, he respects
Now
my
up
coin.
first, Lewis.
But he will sell me on my on the rebounds. Like I'll have him for rebounds, and he'll bro, what the hell? See, that's not what you're talking about. I have him for rebounds, and he won't get what I need. And then like, or like I'll have him for something, and I'll take him for something, and he'll who will I take him for? Oh yeah, we're gonna drive in a run. I'll take him for points. I take him for a double. I take him for assists, and that boy get in foul trouble. So I mean, it just depends. But for the most part, like I said, he respects my coin. Derek White, Caillou, as I call him, respects my coin as well. So does Jason Tatum. And what's that boy name for the Cavs? Mobley. Mobley respects my coin. He's a coin respecter. Tyler Hero respects it. Bam respects my coin. I don't really like betting on the Heat. I don't really like betting on them, but I will sometimes. And like I said, they respect it for the most part. Khalil Ware respects it. But yeah, like I said, I mean, basketball just ain't been like, it just hasn't been a really good product, man. Like it's been a bad product. You know, there's blowouts every night. And I understand when you bet and you gotta look at trends, you gotta respect the trends and stuff like that. But it's tough, man. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate that. But yeah, like it's just hard sometimes. And then what else? Oh, what's up, bro? Appreciate the follow, man. Appreciate the follow. Yeah. Hey, I was just talking about the coach just a little bit ago, man. You miss it. I was just talking about the coach a little bit ago, just talking about AR and some of the work that the Colts have done in the offseason with the free agency and stuff, and what that kind of opens up for us in the draft. But yeah, I was just talking about that. But yeah, like right now, I mean, the NBA is just at a place where I think they're still trying to figure things out, how to get more viewers, how to make it fun for the fans. Because even with like the All-Star game, they just trying to find ways to get the players to be competitive and find ways for the fans to be able to engage. And I think that's just where the NBA is right now. Like, yeah, they still got millions of people that watch, right? But they're still trying to grow. They're still trying to grow and get bigger. So it's like one of those things where they're still trying to figure everything out. But yeah, man, the Heat are ass. No, I'm a Heat fan, and the Heat are terrible. Yeah, I'm happy with what we've done so far. Like I'm happy with free agency. I mean, it sucks letting Will Fries go, but at the same time I understand, like at the same time it's a business, and it was big for Ballard to not want to sit back and keep a guy that, you know, a homegrown guy, which that's been one of his biggest things, where like, he want to keep everybody at home. He want to keep everybody that he drafts. Or that he brings in. So it was good to see that he actually was willing to let Will Fries walk. And I mean, for that price tag, shit, he should have let Will Fries walk. Cause 4 years, 80, or what was it, 5 years, 88 million? It was terrible. Yeah, I'm hurt by Grant leaving for sure. Cause I thought Grant was, I like Grant. I like Grant Stewart. That's the $1 million question right there, bro. That's the $1 million question. Damn. But I think with the free agency, like us having Bynum and us signing Ward, I think that opens up what we can do at 14. And I wouldn't be surprised if we traded back a little bit to try, because we only got 7 picks. So I wouldn't be surprised if we traded back to maybe 18 or 20 to just acquire more picks, so that way we have more, you know, more darts to shoot at the dartboard. And then I think we probably take a tight end. If it's not Tyler Warren, then it's
That's a
probably
hard
Colston
but
Loveland or
lethal
Mason
slide into
Taylor.
second base we
I think
just
Mason
saw.
Taylor, if we
Did
took
enough to
linebacker in the
affect the
first, then I
throw
think we
and
go Mason
disrupt the
Taylor in the
double play.
second. If we don't get Warren, then I think we
Two
go
outs and a
Colston
runner
Loveland
at
in the
first.
first.
Digging in for the look
Or a
at
linebacker,
South
depends on
Stewart.
who's there. But nah, I mean, I would love Tyler Warren. I think he's still, I think he's good. Um,
Struck the batter
and I think he will open
looking.
up so much stuff for the
That's the
Colts, man.
ball
The Colts
game.
offense. If we took Tyler Warner,
Huge
especially in
effort at the
11
dish.
personnel.
I hope he savors this game. Performances like this.
Yeah,
don't
Jelani
happen every
Woods,
day.
man. I just, bro, just need to stay healthy, man. Like, that's his biggest issue. Health.
One down.
Because he can't stay on the field, man. Because Jelani can't stay on the field, so we got to go tight end. We got to look for a new one. And then, damn it. And then, you know, Ogletree and I love Will Mallory. I've been going crazy about Will Mallory being on the Colts. But they're not consistent, and Jelani Woods can't stay healthy. But Jelani is solid when he's on the field. We saw that, you know, what against the Chiefs. Saw that against the Chiefs in what 2022 with Matt Ryan. Jelani single-handedly won us that game pretty much. I mean, our defense balled out too.
Batting second, the left fielder, Yerland.
But yeah, like,
Nobody on with
you
one
know,
out.
it's just,
Next to hit for the Clingstones,
I don't know, man.
Chris Lewis. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Yeah, I think he would have as well.
That slider took a sharp turn at the
But that's
last
the
second.
issue with both of them, right? Neither one of them can stay on the
Swing.
field.
Break the plane. Yes, it's a strike.
Between Jelani, AR, and Juju, like, man, three promising players that just can't stay
This
healthy.
pitch misses, and the count is 1-2. So he got ahead 0-2, but way off the mark with the heater.
Nah, that's a
At the
fact. You
plate,
ain't
he
overthrowing
sees that the
Jelani.
pitcher wants to use the fastball to punch him out.
But
He needs to be
yeah,
ready
what was I
and
saying?
not
I was
get
talking about
beat.
the
Handles the chance.
Heat.
Takes
Look,
it to
man, the
first,
Heat played
out.
last night against the Detroit
Now batting, the first
Pistons.
baseman,
I don't know. I was about to say the Detroit Lions,
If you're looking
but
for more good
against the
vibrations into
Pistons,
your life,
and
that's Theremin Therapy.
we
They've
just,
got just the right
I
amount of
called
touch
it.
to help you.
First quarter, we was up by 10. I'm like, look, man, I tweeted it too, right when I was at the end of the first quarter. We up by 10. By halftime, we'll be up by 2 to 4 points. By the end of the game, we'd have caught an L. And lo and behold, that's exactly how it played out. By halftime, we was up 60 to 58. I'm swinging at terrible shit. The end of halftime, or by halftime, we was up 60 to 58. By the end of the game, we lost by, I think, 3.
Fouls it back with 2 strikes.
I said it. Yeah. That's a fact. I did. I said that, man. And
It's
lo,
a hit by pitch.
yeah, he bailed me out with that one because I was swinging at bullshit. But yeah, I said that last night that we were gonna lose, and we lost.
And here's the first baseman, Bryson
Fucking
Horn.
suck. Man, I need my boy Adonai to really
Here it comes.
do his thing, man. Adonai got to do his thing this year. I just seen that on Twitter. But yeah, man, I said we was gonna lose, and we lost that game. I don't know. They got to figure it out this off season. I think we gonna have like 2 first-round picks, but they got to be able to. They got to figure it out this off season. Pat Riley got to do better. He got to do better. Shit. Both of my GMs from the Heat and the Colts got to do better. What's up? What you got, man? What you got for me?
That's a skill that can boost you up the ladder as a
But
minor
both of my
leaguer
teams
for
got to do.
sure.
Both of my GMs got to do better for the Heat and for the Colts, man. Chris Ballard has stepped in the right direction though, but Pat Riley got to do better. He got to figure it out. He can't just be slapping them rings on the table and being like, you can win one of these with us or you can go somewhere else. He can't just do that. Damn, Pittman can go. Not yet. We can't let Pittman go yet. We gotta wait. Look, Pittman signed, what was it, a 3-year deal? 4-year deal? Let me look it up. I think he signed a 3-year deal with us. Excuse me. I think he signed it was 3 years, $70 million. He signed a 3-year deal. This is his 2nd year on the deal. The only way I let Pittman go is if the production isn't there this year. which he produced last year, mind you, with the back injury he produced.
Now the payoff pitch.
But if there's no
Ground ball to
production
third.
this year,
Can't go
then
back with it.
yeah, we
One
probably
runs
let him
in.
go.
The second run scores. It's
But
4-0.
Adonai has to show that he's
Picks
better.
himself up a couple of
And the thing
ribbies.
is too that
Sometimes you don't
if
need
you
to
let
hit all
Pittman
that
go,
hard.
you have to
Just
replace
put
him
it in
with
play
something
and
because
hope
and it
finds a
can't just be
hole like
Adonai.
it did on
And the
that
reason I say
ground
that is because they're not the same type of receiver. And in this offense, you still need
One out
that
and two
tough it out,
on. Here's
that
the
tough guy.
shortstop at the plate. Chris Lewis.
But
Definitely
I
one
would
sort
love
of way to
Adonai,
get an
Alec, and
easy
Downs,
bouncer
man.
here.
I love
The
those
infield
three.
should be an inning-ending double
Those
play.
three should be nice, but we need that fourth receiver that can do what Pittman does, and maybe at a higher level. At a higher level. So I think if the production isn't there, I think we see Pittman out of here because he has a $5 million dead cap after this season. So if we let him go after this season, it's just a $5 million hit. But I think that's somebody you kind of want to
This
keep
is a
around. I ain't
critical
gonna lie.
moment for this pitcher. With the runners on base, you have to be wise.
But yeah,
with where
his
you
his
put your
back
pitches,
the
or you
that
could see
that
some
back
runs
thing.
coming in.
But if he's healthy, we know what he can do, and he still put up 800 yards this year with bad quarterback play and the back injury. So that's where it's still for me. It's kind of like,
Late swing,
can we
foul
wait
ball.
it? We gotta wait it out a little bit. But
Waddell,
I do
the
get
lead
the
runner
notion,
at
man.
second,
I trust me,
Milligan
I do
at
get it.
first,
I've
one
seen
out.
other people say that too, where they kind of want Pittman out of here.
3-2.
And it's not because he
Looks like
sucked
might be
or
willing
whatever.
to
It's
chase
just
up the ladder even higher after that
they want
swing.
more production
Pitcher
from the
saw
receiver
that. We'll
position.
see how he adapts.
Yeah, his effort is up and down, but that's where
In
like
the air to the
I
right,
kind of want to give
Allen.
him a little bit of grace, just
And
because.
there's two down.
Why you didn't run the third, bro? That's kind of why I want to give him a little grace, just because like the back thing. But that's where it was like too during the season. I'm like, bro, if your back is like that, like if your back's hurting like that,
Out to short. Oh, can't
then
pick it up
what the
cleanly.
hell? Then sit out. Sit your ass
That
down on the
extends
bench.
the inning.
I get it. You want to be there for your teammates. You want to show that grit, that whatever.
Can't get stiff out there and let the ball
But bro, you got to
get
sit
you.
down
He's
because
probably
you hurting us
frustrated
more than
about
you
that.
helping us right now.
The best pros are able to move past it
So,
and make the plays.
like I
going
said, I
forward.
get it.
We'll see
I
how he
understand.
responds.
I understand the notion for sure. To get Pittman, not to get him out of here, but
Makes a nice sliding catch.
I understand the reason why people want him out.
That is such a tough play to make. It may seem unnecessary to go down in a slide, but getting down that low can give an outfielder
Get
a
it for
slightly
sure, man.
better angle to see the ball coming in.
But like I said,
That
if we
be
can
the
get
difference between
another
a hit
receiver
and
that
a
brings his kind of talent,
and a runner at first.
then I'd be okay
Coming
with
up
it.
to the dish for Chattanooga, Jay
But I don't
Allen.
know. I gotta going into next season. I gotta look at the at who's coming out,
In the
what
air to
receivers are
right,
coming
and
out.
that should do it. Settles under it, makes the catch, and
Yeah,
gets the ball.
I get that for sure.
This is a game to flush.
To be able to
no
get some
doubt. They got
draft
the win,
capital
but
for
he
him.
may be feeling like he let the team down.
I get that. Get some draft capital for him. Get some more blue chip players or something like that. Nah, I get it. Definitely understand that. Yeah, but this draft, this receiver draft isn't as good as last year's. Last year
Coming
was
up to
way
the dish
better.
for Columbus, Chris
This
Lewis.
year you
0
can
for 4
get
in the
some
win
guys,
last night.
but it's not like, to me, outside of maybe, I don't think Tech is a guy. Like I don't think, no, I don't think Tech is the guy. I think he's a guy, like he can be good, but I think he's gonna be like a number 2. I don't think he got the dog to be a number 1. And I could be wrong. I could be
Puts this
completely
one
wrong,
in
but
the
I don't
air
think he
down
got the
the
dog
line.
to be a number 1.
Racing over to make
And
the catch.
I think I might have Golden over Tech. So like,
no runs here on a base
uh,
hit, no errors. Smell like you've just
if
played
we're not
extra
getting
innings,
Golden or
time to
something like
clean
that,
off
then
with
I really
Sudsy
don't
Susie's
want
body
it.
wash. Now with the scent and flavor of cilantro. Out to short.
I like
Lewis.
Luther Burden, but I think Luther Burden is more of a slot receiver.
First out.
Who
What a
else?
play. Just
Alec
barely gets the run on
Ayomaner,
that one.
he's
Man on
solid.
first. And now the
His
shortstop,
big
Chris
game was against
Lewis.
Colorado, where he had damn near 300 yards. That was his biggest game. And that's really what put him on my radar, to be honest.
No reason to jump at a strike from a
Who's
pitcher
the other one in
struggling
this
like
draft?
this. Chances are
Who's the
you'll get
one that
another
went
pitch
to?
to
Who's
hit.
the other one that went to Texas with Golden? I forget his name.
The 0-1 offering.
Damn.
1-1. That curveball was
Who's
way
the other
high.
one? What? So you got Matthew Golden, Ted. See, even on here they got Matthew Golden above Ted, which I'm not mad. And see, a Mecca, he's more of a slot. We already. Oh, Trey Harris is another one I really like. Jalen Royals, I like him too. Isaiah Bond, that's the one. Hey, look, all right, so all right, so listen, bro. Yeah, Isaiah Bond is the one. Listen, if we traded Michael Pittman Jr. and drafted Jaden Higgins, would you be mad? Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State.
He clearly didn't release it properly.
all right. We on the same page there. We on the same page there. I got you.
Ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop-up foul out of play off to the right side. That'll find the
I got
stands.
you, man.
He's doing a good job of changing speeds.
But yeah,
First,
so see that's why I could talk basketball, but as soon as somebody comes with me with some football stuff, all my attention go back to football because basketball is ass and football is king. Especially in my house, football is king. But on the pod, I will talk basketball. I just won't talk. I mean, until March Madness is over, I won't be talking, college ball. Now I will, I'll talk some ladies. Oh, you're a Magic fan. Y'all balling. So one of the girls I used to work with, my homegirl, she Paulo is her nephew. Or her cousin, or something like that up here. Damn, we deserve all the losses. But yeah, Paulo is her. I think it's her cousin. Because I'm up here in Seattle, of course. But yeah, Paulo, her cousin. I was talking to her the other day, talking to her and my homeboy, and we was talking about Paulo, and I was telling her, you gotta tell your boy, he gotta stop selling my parlays. Paulo be selling my parlays. Hey, man. Oh, man, we treat y'all like the Clippers. Nah, I can't say that. Y'all better than the Clippers, man. Y'all better than the Clippers. I'll give y'all that at least. I mean, I don't rock with y'all, but I'll give y'all better than the Clippers. As an organization, just history-wise, y'all much better than them bums. I'm trying to get my son to be a Heat fan. He don't really want to rock out with them. But at the same time, I want Seattle to get a best. That's one thing. I think I'll be. That's crazy. That's a ball. I think I would be more of a basketball fan if Seattle still had a team. Because when I moved up here, in 2015, the Supersonics had left a while before that. And if they got a team, because the closest team up here is Portland, and then of course we got the WNBA, which I am a Storm fan. I forgot to mention that earlier. I am a Storm fan. Nah, I know what you mean, man. I know. We do treat y'all like y'all. Yeah, I get you. I get you. But yeah, I am a Storm fan. So like, we got that up here, and I took him to a Storm game. And he had a good time. He had a good time at the WNBA game. But yeah, I think if there was more basketball up here, like if it was an NBA team up here, I'd be more inclined to talk about basketball. Maybe not. I don't know. Basketball is ass. Like I said, football turned a lot of dudes into basketball dudes, and that's when I lost respect for basketball, and that happened years ago. And then the product the NBA puts out year after year is trash. Why am I swinging at that?
At a certain point, you have to commit to swing.
Hey, look, bro, I'm from Jacksonville, so being a Colts fan and being from Jacksonville, being a Colts fan, being from Jacksonville, listen, man, it's crazy. Damn, you only like the Mets, bro. You gonna hate the
0-2,
next
here's
the
the
next
pitch.
thing I say, man.
Way high. On
Go
0-2,
Yankees.
raise the hitter's eye level with the high fastball. We might see something low on this next pitch. And a curve misses
But y'all
outside.
stole Juan
That
Solo from us,
curveball
man.
was
Or
way
Ron Soto.
high.
I don't know
He
why I call him Solo.
clearly didn't release it
Juan Soto
properly.
from us, man. Y'all stole him. But yeah, being a Colts fan from Jacksonville,
In the dirt.
I I hear a lot of the shit from my family. My two of my cousins, they New England Patriots fans.
Fights that one
So
off,
you
will
know,
reset and do it again.
I hear it from them too, especially when Brady was up there.
This one in
That's
the air
out.
to right, Allen.
Yeah, that joint hurt,
And
man.
there's one away.
My cousins and then I'm a Miami Hurricane. I forgot to say that too. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan,
Now it's
and
the
then
shortstop,
my
Dante
cousins
Patel.
FSU fans.
Nobody out and a runner
So
at first.
you know, there's a lot of shit talking going on between me and my cousins, especially during football season.
Grounder on the right side. Could be two. Feed to second for one.
Ooh, that was terrible.
And that's all they'll get.
Yeah, Deflate Gate. Yeah, I hear that all the time from my family. Talking about, oh, y'all snitched on us. Y'all snitched on us.
Today's action is brought to you by Hackett Slash Landscaping, offering ultra
Like, bro, we
grass,
ain't
the
snitch
grass
on
that
y'all.
they
Y'all out
don't
here
want you to
cheating.
have.
Your boy Tom was cheating.
Out in front, ripped foul. He's done well so far, but we'll see what adjustments the
Had to
heart of
get-
the
he was
order
trying to
make
get
for him
Tom
the
out the
second
paint.
time around.
Shoot, we needed it. Tom kept beating us, man. Every time we saw Tom, he was whooping our ass. Besides the year we went to the Super Bowl.
And again on 0-2. Swings
Bro, I'm
through it
swinging
for
that
the K.
bullshit.
One gone leading off the fourth.
Swinging it straight bullshit.
Runner at third, two away. And
Who-
the batter will be the
who was
shortstop,
it?
Chris Lewis.
Oh yeah, LeGarrette. Yeah. Blunt has some. I don't know what it is, man. It be teams with players that have like some type of vendetta against the Colts.
0-1.
Like every year we play Trevor Lawrence, Trevor seemed to have his best games versus us. Or like Trayvon Walker has it, and Josh Allen have their best games against us. Trevor Lawrence ain't never throw for 80% completion percentage unless he play the Colts. Like, it's insane. Who else is like that? It's another player that always play their best against us too. Oh, the Nico Autry. But I get why he does that. I get why Autry does that because we let him go. I'm not gonna say he's a bust. Like, I don't think he's good. So don't get me wrong there. I don't think Trevor's good. I think he's a game manager. I mean, I guess for where you drafted him at, you don't draft game managers at number one, right? But I don't know. I don't know if I would call him a bust. I don't know. I ain't never thought about that. But I know, like I said, you don't draft game managers at number one. And that's all T-Law has shown to be as a game manager. He hasn't shown to be that franchise-changing quarterback.
That ends the inning and limits the damage. Bases empty,
Like, I
one
think
away.
he's still kind
And
of
now the
solid.
right fielder, Jay
Like, he's
Allen.
still he has the tools. It's just I don't know, man. But I never liked him coming out of Clemson either. So there's that.
Tosses to first. That's out number
Yeah,
two.
him being the first
Here's
pick
the
and being what
shortstop
he
at the
is.
plate, Chris Lewis.
Yeah, he ain't brought nothing to that team at all. Like,
Pop
he
foul
hasn't
out
brought
play
anything
off
to
the
that
right.
team worth a
De
damn.
La Cruz takes his lead at first with nobody out. Foul ball there.
Oh, they would have been crucifying him, bro. I mean, they already are. But yeah, if that was him, they would have crucified him. If he was the number one pick and doing what Trevor Lawrence doing,
In the air.
they
right
already don't
field.
like him.
And that is a foul ball. Runner at first.
I don't
nobody
understand
out.
it either. Like, he's 22. He don't have a lot of time. like I said,
Up the
like I've
middle.
been saying,
Oh,
his
great
biggest thing for
stop.
me is you got to stay
Defeat.
healthy. You stay
Deterrence not
healthy,
in
we
time.
good.
Great effort there.
Because
I
you
thought
got to
for
get those
sure off
reps
the
in.
bat
You
that
got to
one
get
was going
those
to get
reps.
through
So
to
if
the
he can stay
outfield for a
healthy,
knock.
then
Great
that's the
job
big thing for
defensively
AR.
to take away the hit. Man at first with one
Now
gone.
batting,
Next
the
to hit,
first
Bryson
baseman,
Horn.
Bryson Horn.
Let's see if we can get another steal.
There goes the runner
It's kind of
in
late.
the dirt.
So be there.
Safe at second, not even close. Here comes the 3-1.
Yeah,
Here's a
AR
fly to
didn't play a
left.
lot of ball, man.
Confidant gets under it. And 2 away now.
He didn't play a lot of ball, like you would
Now
expect
batting,
a starting
lefty,
quarterback to do.
Steven Paolini.
2 away and a runner in scoring position here. Next to hit for the Clingstones, number 34. High fly ball to right field. That's pretty deep.
No, go home.
Makes the catch.
Oh, never mind. All right, I gotta see about this base running. Let me see something, cause this shit kind of ass. I ain't gonna hold you. What do we? Directional analog. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that. Yeah, let's just do this fixed analog. I don't like that directional analog. That'd be messing me up. There we go.
1 hit,
Now we can cook.
2 outs, runners at first
Just
and
up
second.
and down.
Digging in
That's
for
all.
the lookouts, Levi Jordan. The 0-1.
But yeah, like I said earlier, you know, to the people,
Hit hard on the ground to
when I
short.
first started,
And
this
that
one gonna
is
be a
the
little
ball
bit
game.
different. When I started Drop Balls
This wasn't his
podcast back
best
in
game ever, but
2020,
he
you know, it
definitely
was
helped them in the
COVID.
win. Nice job.
It was COVID. I was, you know, working from home and everything. But I wanted to get into sports because, like I said, that's my passion. That's the thing I wanted to do. It's the thing I love. Shoot, I played football I played football, what, 12 years of my life or something like that. So it was, you know, that was always my passion. So like, I started the podcast because this is what you know, it's just what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to get into, and then I kind of like not took a break, but I guess what it was is that what is this? Is that a celebration? I guess what it was is just that okay, it's a home run plate celebration. Like, not really took a break, but I got busy, you know, life, my son. Um, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Life, my son, doing other podcasts like Sports After Dark and stuff like that. So like, it kind of just got pushed to the back burner, and but now, you know, I'm jobless. I have nothing but time on my hands. So like for me now, it's like, let's figure it out. Let's see if we can get this thing to take off. Let's do it a little bit differently than what people normally do. Because normally people are like, you know, it's just a straight podcast, and either it's just all sound and it's online on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts and stuff like that, and it's just audio. And I just kind of want to do something different to where like we're gonna do more than just audio. We're gonna do some video. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna talk sports. You know, talk to people in the comments and just have a good time, vibe out. And it's probably not gonna be no longer than maybe an hour, 2 hours. Nothing crazy. Well, I guess what today is an hour 30, so it'll probably be about like 2 hours, depending on what we got to talk about, depending on what's been going on in the league, what's been going on around in the sports world. Um, and I'm really trying to get this thing to take off. Um, I allowed myself to relax for a few months before I'd worked on my resume, did all those different things. That's the one thing about working in the federal government where like, you know, the skills that you acquired is needed in the private sector as well. and government contracts and all that other stuff. They want people that know how to do those things. So we gonna rock out and see base running and pitching. Rock out and see what we can do, what we can get, and see if we can get this thing really popping. And I appreciate people, if you share it with your friends, your family, share it with people you just come in contact with, like, hey, check out this podcast. Especially if you like it. If you like the podcast, for sure, like, help your brother out, man. Help your boy out. Get this out to people. Let them know, like, hey, see Lou out here. He doing his thing. He got his thing going. So that way, we get more people out here, listening to Drop Balls podcast, watching Drop Balls podcast on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, all those good things. Okay, there's nothing here. Like, get some more eyes on it, some more ears on it, and get it cracking. But that's just what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to build this thing up and really get going. Can I add more than one, or do they just hold on? I know it's saying like I can upgrade it. But can I add more than one? That's what I want to know. Just gonna go around like this. What's this one at? Can use all 6 or 7 of them. But yeah, just get this thing going. Like I said, I allowed myself a few months to really focus and hone in and try to get it going. I'm gonna have to move this out the way real quick. Oh, it's 46. Oh yeah, I gotta get that up. But yeah, to really get this thing going, get it and build it up. And shoot, maybe I don't have to go back to work. Maybe I get it to a point to where my hobby became my full-time job, and I would love that. Like I said, I kind of wanted to give y'all an introduction to me, introduction to what I'm doing, what I'm trying to build, what I'm trying to get going, and get in the mode. Let's get some quality at bats. And trust me, it's more to come. It's more to come. And I'm not only going to be on here talking about the Colts. Yes, I love the Colts, but I'm not going to be only up here talking about the Colts. I'm talking about other teams, talking about league NFL news, like I talked about with the owners meeting, all of that stuff. We're gonna talk about all of those different things, and I'm gonna field questions. I'm gonna take questions from the comments. If people got questions, like I said, ask Lou. We're gonna have a segment called Ask Lou, where you ask questions, I give answers. So yeah, man, like that's all I got going. That's what I got going. And I'm not gonna be up here like, I mean, I know I'm rambling right now. I'm just, talking to y'all right now, but I'm not gonna be up here just trying to get to the 2-hour mark just for the sake of getting to the 2-hour mark, right? So like, we're at 1 hour and 43 minutes right now. So I'll probably, end this and then just hop back on stream and continue streaming me playing MLB The Show. But I appreciate everybody that came and listened. I appreciate everybody that was in the comments chatting with me. Appreciate the followers. Like I said, we're trying to get to 50 by my birthday on Twitch. 50 on my birthday by Twitch, or 50 followers on Twitch by my birthday. My birthday is next Wednesday, March 26th. I might be back. I'll be on stream March 26th as well for my birthday. But we're trying to get to 50 followers by then. We're at 41. Well, now I'm on PS5. I got an Xbox though. I do got an Xbox though, but I'm on PS5 right now. Trying to get to 50 followers by my birthday next week. And what am I at on YouTube? On YouTube, I'm at 89. I'm trying to get to 100. So shoot, I got about 10 more on each platform. Got 10 more to go on each platform, pretty much. So I'm trying to get to 100 on YouTube, trying to get 50 on Twitch. So help your boy run these numbers up. Like I said, share it with your friends, your family, whoever you know that loves sports just as much as you and I do, and they enjoy gaming as well. But I'm gonna hop off of this, and then I'm gonna open the stream back up again, and just be streaming MLB the Show. Hey, yeah, for sure. Hit me up, and I'll give you the Call of Duty info because we be lit, and sometimes we do be looking for a fourth, depending on what the gang be doing. But sometimes we do be looking for a fourth for sure. But like I said, I'm gonna end this one, and I'm gonna get right back on, and we just gonna stream MLB the Show and chat, have fun.